Thank you for joining us for our daily devotional, and we want to read from 1 Peter chapter 5, verses 5 to 7. And here's what Peter writes. He writes, "Clothe yourselves, all of you, with humility towards one another, for God opposes the proud, but gives grace to the humble. Humble yourselves, therefore, under the mighty hand of God, so that at the proper time he may exalt you, casting all your anxieties on him, because he cares for you." I don't have to tell you that, just listening to these words, we realize how different they are to the words that we hear every day, or the way that we are encouraged to live every day by our culture. He's advocating that we live with humility towards others, with dependence or submission towards God and his will for our lives, and dependence on the care of God. Humility, submission, dependence, those are not words that we are encouraged to live by in our culture. Culture says, really push yourself ahead. It says, even if it means stepping on others, even if it means trashing others, push yourselves ahead. And here Peter says, no, humble yourselves before others. Even put others before yourself. Society says, culture says that we should, we deserve a good and comfortable life. We are entitled to the pursuit of health and wealth and happiness. And Peter says, no, look, when that doesn't happen in our lives the way we think it should, we should submit ourselves to the will of God so that he will exalt us in his time, in his way, trusting that he knows what's best. And culture also tells us that, look the best all the time. Look a winner. Even when it's not true, portray a successful self-image. And Peter says, no, live with a dependence on God. He knows that we struggle. He knows that we don't have it all together all the time. He knows that we have anxieties. So cast all your cares on him, knowing that he cares for you. Humility towards others, submission to the will of God for our lives, dependence on the help of God. That's a different way to live, isn't it, to the way that we will be encouraged to live today and every day. The messages coming from our culture are very much, almost completely opposite to this message. But we must choose how we will live. And a good question to ask as we choose is, which way is the way of true peace and true joy? Which way is the way of true peace and true joy? Is it the way of pride, or is it the way of humility, humbling ourselves before God in the service of others with a dependence on God? Peter believes that's where we find true peace, true joy, and where we find the life that we really are all seeking. May God help us to make good and wise decisions, even this day.